I am Pragya and I bring to you excerpts from the year-ender issue titled We Bear Witness. The issue is dedicated to the people of Gaza and what they went through. Women of Gaza are holding on, but for how long? Farah Barkavi, as told to Rakhi Bose of Outlook. What is happening in Gaza now is a backward step in every way for the feminist movement, says Farah Barkawi, a Palestinian feminist, performer, and poet pursuing an MFA degree in non-fiction creative writing in Brooklyn. I was a teenager in Gaza 20 years ago, and I remember an incident when I was having a heavy period day. I was at a bus stand at the Rafah crossing, which had white plastic seats. Despite wearing a sanitary napkin, I overflowed and stained the seat. An older woman called out to me and pointed at the blood. I am a feminist and raised well by my feminist mother and know there is no shame in menstruating. And yet, I remember how stigmatizing that moment was for me. Today, sitting in Brooklyn, United States, watching my city get reduced to rubble, I keep thinking about that day at the bus stop, and I wonder what the menstruating women must be going through at the moment in Gaza, which has been under Israel's siege for nearly 3 months. I can feel the shame and humiliation they must be feeling. Many of these young girls and women just carried a backpack when they left their homes. How much could they even carry in that backpack? It's not surprising to hear that in Gaza, the demand for pills to block menstruation and contraception has gone up since this invasion. Women do not want to menstruate as there is no water or pads. As a poet writing about Gaza, the border, my mother and the Ulfa, this assault has been really overwhelming for me because my mother, Zainab al-Ghunaimi, is now in Gaza City. A feminist organizer and human rights defender herself, she's been there since the start, surviving Israeli artillery, bombs, and white phosphorus. She co-founded a shelter for women survivors of domestic violence and abuse. Despite the immense bombing and fighting, the shelter is still up and running and is currently hosting refugees, women, and children. My mother had initially remained in her apartment in Gaza City. Amid all the conflict, she has to survive herself and also manage the shelter. I don't know when or if I will be able to see her again. For this and more, read the year-ender issue of Outlook.